If you're a health or a life coach who's looking to grow their coaching business in 2023, stay tuned. I'm going to be sharing 23 different ways that you can grow your business this year. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Wholehearted Business Show. I'm Laura. I help health, life and spiritual coaches and everyone in between to get more clients, make more money so you can live your most aligned life. Now today on the Wholehearted Business Show, I'm going to be sharing 23 different ways that you can grow your coaching business this year. Now all of these 23 things I'm going to be sharing, they're all ways that you can get in front of and connect with more people. When I'm talking about growth for your business, that's what it's in my mind. These are the tips that I've chosen based on that. So this is all about how can you get your business in front of new people and connect with those people, because ultimately that's at the root of what getting clients and customers is all about. So let's get stuck in. The first one that I want to share is blogging. Now, if you have watched the Wholehearted Business Show before, if you've listened to me talk about blogging before, you'll know I'm a massive fan. I think blogging's really relevant right now because so many of us are getting a bit fed up with social media. Now, when we blog, we are blogging on a platform that we own. We own our website. We're not having to create content that is based on someone else's platform, that's owned by Meta or Zuckerberg or whoever. We're creating content on our own platforms. I think blogging's really great for that reason. Also, like the direct line between people consuming that content on your blog and joining your email list is much more straightforward than it is from social media. I also really love blogging because when you create content on your blog, it has so much longevity. So the time that you spend, the time that you invest creating blog content, that can serve your business for years to come. And social media just isn't in the same place as that at the moment at all. You can write a blog post now and still have that blog post be bringing you new email subscribers and potential clients in 5 years' time. I think that is pretty amazing. And that's really the case for me and my business, is that I have created this content over the last few years and it still is bringing new people into my world. So it works really well. So if you want to get started with blogging, I actually have a full course called Blog School that takes you through everything it is that you need to know about getting started with a blog. But I also have a free blog post checklist guide that you can use to help you make sure that when you're writing a blog post that you're doing all the things to that post to make sure that it's going to get seen, to make sure that you're going to convert people into subscribers, to make sure that it's basically going to be the best blog post that it can be. So I will put a link in the description box for that. Please do go and sign up for it. It's an awesome free checklist that's going to help you write awesome blog content. Number 2 is podcasting. Now, again, podcasting, most people will have heard of it. Sometimes I think people think that podcasting is a bit oversaturated, but actually in comparison to other methods of marketing, podcasting isn't super saturated actually. And if there's a good time to start a podcast, it's probably right now. So starting a podcast or being a guest on podcasts is a really great way to get in front of new people. And also podcasting is so good for building that connection because a lot of people are going to be listening to your podcast while they are out walking the dog or out for a run or cooking their dinner. That's one of the things I really love about podcasts is the intimacy that you get. And hopefully some of you guys are listening to me now on the podcast version of this and, probably busy doing something else, but hopefully it's a really enjoyable experience. That's what I obviously hope for you guys. So I hope that you're enjoying it. And that's just another reason why podcasting is worth paying attention to. And again, it's that magic kind of thing of getting in front of new people and having them connect with you and you be able to share your expertise, you be able to share how it is that you can help people, and podcasting is a great platform for that too. Number 3 is YouTube. Now, again, some of you guys might be watching this on YouTube right now. I really hope that you are enjoying my little channel. I think YouTube's a fantastic place to be sharing content. Again, it is people who tend to come to YouTube are looking for that like longer form, really helpful content, and YouTube is just the place for that. There's no other platform that does what YouTube does at all. So I think YouTube is just quite unique in that respect. But again, it's a growing platform. More and more people are coming onto YouTube, and it's just a great time to utilize the platform to create longer form video content as well. YouTube has YouTube Shorts too, but the longer form videos, exactly like the one that I'm making right now, they also have search functionality as well. So one of the reasons that I really love things like blogging and YouTube and Pinterest, which we're going to get onto in a second, is these are search based platforms, which again means that your content has so much longevity when you're creating it based on these platforms. Number 4 is Pinterest. Again, another one of my favorites, another platform that I've had a lot of success on personally. Pinterest, like a lot of platforms, has shifted and changed a little bit recently. However, it's still a great place, particularly for you guys who are life health coaches. Anyone who is business to consumer, Pinterest in particular is a great platform. Now, the way that it works is slightly different to how it used to. You're not going to get quite so many clicks back to your website as what we used to get, unfortunately. However, it's still a great place for brand awareness. It's still a really great place to promote your blog posts. It's still just a great place to be in general. So Pinterest is still very much relevant in 2023. And I think it's going to, again, just continue to grow and become more and more popular as time goes on. And I also have a course on Pinterest. So if you are interested in exploring Pinterest further, my course, Pinterest Magic, covers everything that you need to know about getting started with Pinterest as a coach and figuring out a strategy that's going to work for you. I also have a free guide for Pinterest as well. So as well as the blog post guide, I also have a Pinterest guide, so a Pinterest marketing planner for coaches. If you are wanting to get started with marketing your business on Pinterest, check out that free guide. The link will be in the description box and you'll be able to explore that even further. I'll also link up above, somewhere around there, I will link to the video that I've done around Pinterest as well, so you'll be able to explore that. And then number 5 is webinars. Again, pretty much like a mainstay of online business. I still think webinars are a really effective way to not only engage new people with you and what it is that you do, but also sell your products and services too. So webinars can actually act as a bit of a lead magnet. You can get new people to sign up for your webinar, so it's really good for getting new people into your community, but also fantastic for selling your stuff too. Number 6 is sponsorships. Now, this is something a bit different that perhaps you might not have come across before. It's a little bit in the wheelhouse of paid ads, but it's slightly different. So a sponsorship can be something where, for example, you sponsor an event, or it might be that you, like in a similar vein, it might be that you buy a table at an event, an in-person event. I was in a recent bundle over Christmas called Lizzie's Christmas Party, and she had sponsors. She had sponsorship spots for that. Back in the olden days as well of blogging, you used to be able to sponsor someone's blog, so you would have a little ad on their blog. So there's lots of different ways that you can use like the kind of essence of sponsorships, which is basically it's like a partnership and working with someone, but in a paid capacity. So that can work really well just in terms of getting yourself, again, in front of the right people. And if you find the right opportunity where you know your ideal clients are going to be engaging with that thing, then sponsorship can be a really great thing to explore. Number 7 is bundles. And like I said, I took part in a really big bundle just before Christmas called Lizzie's Christmas Party. And that basically what a bundle is, if you're not clear. Bundle is where an online person... try to think of a better word, but an online person, an online coach, an online person will basically bring together a bunch of other people's courses, digital courses and programs, and sell that, or offer it. In the case of Lizzie, she offered a version of that for free. Sell that bundle at a vastly reduced cost compared to the value of all of the different courses and programs inside the bundle. Now, the reason that benefits you as a coach is because you get people joining your list via them signing up for your product in the bundle. It's also really handy because depending on which product you provide into that bundle, you are warming people up through them doing that product, through them taking action in that product. So it can work really well from that point of view. So although you're putting your product in for free, you are getting the benefit of having people join your list. It can also be really good as well because most of the time when people are promoting bundles, they offer you an affiliate option. So if you promote it and people sell through your affiliate link, then you will get some money back, which is really awesome too. And again, bundles work off of this kind of collective action, this collective power of many people online sharing stuff with their own audiences, and then those audiences cross-pollinating kind of thing, so that you get new people joining your world from someone else's world as well. If you're interested in taking part in bundles, you're going to need to have some kind of digital product. Now, if you're fairly new, you haven't got a course built out or anything like that, that's totally fine. I have a course called Super Simple Passive Income, which basically teaches you how to create a small digital product, which is going to be perfect for participating in some of these bundles. It's really cheap. I think it's only £27, $37. I will leave a link in the description box, so do check that out. That will teach you how to create and sell your first digital product in a really simple and easy way so that you can take part in bundles too. And number 8 is summits. Again, summits operate very similar way to bundles. They kind of sit in the same little box in my brain really in terms of that collective action. So a summit basically is where, again, an online person will bring together a group of other online people and basically create like an online event. So it's really about helping people with a particular theme or topic. It's usually quite niched, I think, summits. And the way that it would benefit you is that you would be invited to join that summit if you were taking part in the summit, and you would share perhaps a presentation or an interview with the host, and through you sharing the summit and through the other participants sharing the summit, lots of eyes get on that summit, lots of eyes get on you and your work, and that's how you benefit from it. You can also obviously run your own summit, and the same goes for bundles. Actually, you can run your own bundle. So if you want to explore that, that's something that you can absolutely do. I have a client, Alex. She runs the Rise Uprooted Symposium, and that's been massively successful for her. It's really helped her grow her email list and sell her stuff. So you can absolutely do it yourself if you want to explore that as well. And then number 9, very similar to summits, but this is a micro audio summit. Again, this might be something that you haven't heard of before. This is quite a new concept to me. So this is very similar to your traditional summit, but it's done in a much more kind of condensed, smaller way, which I have to admit really appeals to me than the bigger summit. So this is a little bit easier to deliver if you were going to deliver one yourself, but a micro audio summit, and I'm going to link to a video from Wendy in the description box where she explains all of this, the person who created this concept. So basically a micro audio summit is one day and it's all audio based. So rather than it being a week or several days with lots and lots of participants, it's one day, it's all audio based, and it's maybe about 7 or 8 speakers. So it's much smaller. People love audio these days, absolutely love audio. So it's a really great way to utilise that and to run a summit and have benefit from that collective action, but in a much more low-key, kind of not so heavy workload way too. And then number 10 is challenges. Now, I'm a massive fan of a challenge. Again, I really think these work so well in business to consumer kind of spaces for you health, life and spiritual coaches. A challenge is just a great way to engage new people, to again get in front of all those kind of people who haven't heard of you before, and then warm them up through a process where you are supporting them with a quick win, with making some changes, with transformations. And really it's a great opportunity for you to share your expertise and share what it is that you're all about. And it's also really great for selling something on the end. So not only does it help you grow and get in front of new people, it helps you sell as well. If you want to explore more around challenges, again, I have a course on that. I have a course on a lot of different things, but Enchanting Challenges takes you through the full process of that. And I'll also link as well above. I will link to my video on challenges that I did talking about how to run a challenge as a coach if you want to explore that further as well. But Enchanting Challenges covers the whole process, and it gives you everything that you need, including a blueprint, so you know exactly what you need to do and when. And also, again, I think part of the success of challenges is doing it the right way, and through a lot of trial and error personally, I figured that out. So that's what I share in Enchanting Challenges. And then number 11 is networking. So this can be on or offline, and basically I think there's different opportunities to network. You can go to an actual networking event where it's the core focus of that is networking. You can do an online event where the core focus of that is networking. You can go to an event or a meetup or something and go into that with I'm going to network at this event, I'm going to tell like 10 people about what it is that I do. So you can approach that in different ways, but I think anytime you are talking to other people, you're utilising word of mouth, which is something we're going to get onto. It's actually one of the tips in its own right, and I'll dig into that. But if you're utilising that as well, you might talk to some people who are your ideal client, but you might talk to people who know people who are your ideal client. And I think the more that you tell people about what it is that you do, the better, basically. God, I was telling my builder what it is that I did. Now, it's unlikely that he would actually know anyone who could be a potential client, but as it happened, he was working on someone else's house and talking to her about her yoga business, and next thing she's looking at my website. So it's one of those interesting things. You never know who people are going to know. So tell everybody about what it is that you do. And if you feel a little bit scared about that, it's a really good opportunity to look at your niche, look at how it is that you communicate what it is that you do. Because for a long time, I did not feel very confident in telling people what it was that I did. And then over practice and over just doing it, it became a lot easier and a lot simpler, and I got more confident with that. But network and telling people what it is that you do, that's a great way to grow your business in 2023. Number 12 is to deliver some workshops. Now, this is slightly different from a webinar, I think, and these can be paid or free workshops. And in my mind, this is about doing workshops in person. Now, this might be doing workshops with local organisations, it might be doing workshops with local businesses, and you might want to charge for them or you might want to do them for free. Now, there's a few reasons why you might want to do them for free, and I think part of it is if you're going to do something that's going to benefit that business or that organisation, you're building a rapport with that business for potential future opportunities, but also ultimately you're going to benefit because you're going to be sat in a room full of people, hopefully, and giving them some really useful information, and they're going to be learning more and more about you all of the time. So that can be a really great way to just get in front of those new people. It's locally based, and often what I say to new coaches is not to necessarily discount like the local stuff, the in-person stuff, while you're growing your bigger like online, more global presence. I think doing stuff in person is really effective, and if you're wanting clients right now, that's one of the most effective things you can do. So think about how you can maybe run some workshops locally in partnership with organisations and businesses. And it's not just the business who's a potential. If you do want to do corporate kind of things, that's obviously really good but even just getting in a room of those people, there's going to be potentially people there who could benefit from your services. So that's a really great potential inroad. And then another kind of similar-ish topic but different is a paid live training. Now, Elizabeth Goddard has a training on paid live trainings. I will try and link to it as well. And I think a paid live training is slightly different to the masterclass or a webinar. It's paid, but it still helps you grow your business because often these things are priced at a price range that is quite attractive for new people to buy into from the outset, even if they've never come across you before. Now, a paid live training is usually where you are teaching something that you have done yourself so that other people can repeat it. I think that's one of the best ways in my head that I think of a PLT is people something that you've done so they can repeat it. That's exactly what I did with my How to Create a Multi-Platform Content show, where I teach people in that, and originally it was a paid live training, teach people how to create a blog, podcast and YouTube channel in one go. So I taught that as a paid live training and then made that into a course. So a paid live training, like I say, I think there's lots of quirky topics you can do it on, but you're essentially teaching someone a repeatable process. I think that's the core of it. But like I say, it works really well for growth because usually you would price this at an attractive price point for new people as well. And then number 14 is Voxer based coaching. Now, usually again, this would be something that you would charge for. However, it doesn't have to be something that you charge for. It can be something that you could potentially use almost like a lead magnet. So you could offer some free Voxer coaching hours or Voxer coaching days and have that behind a subscription. So make sure that people subscribe to your email list, and then once they're subscribed, you can offer them this opportunity to connect with you on Voxer. Now, if you're not clear on what Voxer is an app that you have on your phone. It works a little bit like a walkie-talkie. You can send voice notes and text notes between one another, and it's just, most people find it works really well for online coaching. And like I say, part of the benefit of that and part of the benefit of you offering that for free for people who might join your list as to get access to that is that when you are chatting with people backwards and forwards like that, the connection that you can create is really strong. And again, you could use that as a basis to sell your services and products and programs and things on as well. So that could be a really great idea if you enjoy Voxer, perhaps you've tried it before, or just to experiment with if you haven't. It can be a really great thing to give it a go. And then number 15 is flyers and leaflets. Now, I know this is like super old school and kind of super boring compared to some of the other things, but let's not discount the old school methods of flyers and leaflets. Again, it goes back to what I was saying before about particularly if you're a newer coach who has not built much of an online following yet, like thinking about your local area and actually getting back to basics and going old school with something like this can actually still be really effective. So whether it's putting some flyers up in your local gym or your local health food shop, whether or not it's putting something at the library, like you've got nothing to lose by trying to share some information. Just make it eye-catching, make it to the point, make it very clear what people need to do to get in touch with you, and who knows, it could be something that could bring you in lots and lots of clients. Number 16 is paid ads. Now, again, most of us are going to be familiar with paid ads. We have Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads. I think ads are definitely something that's worth exploring. Certainly once you get to a certain point in business. I tend to have different approaches to ads depending on who I'm supporting. So when I'm working with clients, often, even like newer coaches, I will talk to them about utilising paid ads, but in very specific, limited ways. And again, there's so many different ways that you can utilise ads. You can use them to help you build your email list through promoting a freebie. You can use them to sell something on the back end of a funnel. You can use it to promote an event or a webinar. There's like lots of different ways you can utilise ads. Definitely something worth exploring in 2023. Then number 17 is guest posting. So this is where you post an article or a blog post on someone else's website. Now this can be another coach who you know, or it could be one of those websites where they often have submissions like Mind Body Green or Elephant Journal. They often accept submissions where you can get your article onto their website. And also this can go a little bit into towards like the PR kind of realm, but magazines who have an online website, who need articles, who need online content, you can contact the online features editor and potentially pitch them an article of yours. And why this is really great for getting in front of new people, obviously people are going to read that who are not already part of your world, who are already reading those websites and find you there, but also it's really good for backlinking to your website, which when it comes to SEO is really important. So doing some guest posting can be a great strategy for 2023. And then number 18 is Facebook groups. Now I know that social media, and we're going to have a bit of a chat about social media in a second, is a bit of a funny one at the moment, but with Facebook, I particularly, like out of all the things that Facebook does, I think Facebook groups is the only thing that I would necessarily be investing any time in for 2023. And that's because I think if you get the engagement up front and if you get the numbers in there up front, Facebook groups are still popular and still working. I'm sure you guys are members of Facebook groups that are still working, that are still busy, as well as probably ones that aren't. But I think part of the trick with Facebook groups is getting enough people in at the start. And for me, doing a challenge would be a really great way to utilise that and to get a lot of people in at the start, get the engagement going with a very specific targeted thing, and then use that to create some momentum for the Facebook group going forward. So I think Facebook groups are still a really interesting one, worth exploring, worth perhaps putting some effort into. If you think that your audience is there on Facebook, it's a really good option to explore in 2023. So yeah, Facebook groups. And then number 19 is TikTok, and actually number 20 is Instagram, and I'm going to talk about them together, I think. Now these two platforms have still got like lots of potential. I know a lot of us don't particularly want to be on social media that much. I know that's a trend in itself actually, is people not particularly wanting to be on social media, and I totally get that. I think it's for lots of different reasons, and next week on the show I'm going to be talking a bit about how do we get clients without social media. However, what's interesting to me, and the reason why I included TikTok and Instagram in this rundown, is because I've seen TikTok ads on Pinterest that are basically, interestingly enough, promoting TikTok to be used in the same way as Pinterest, which I find really interesting that Instagram is actually running ads for a rival, to me, what would be a rival platform. But I have the sneaking suspicion that Instagram and TikTok, and perhaps the way that people use them, where people are starting to pull back from like the constant scrolling and people are more in and out, is that people are going to start using the search engine features of those platforms a lot more. So from a point of view of someone, for me personally, who likes the search engine based thing, which you might do too, and also with the potential for that added longevity, I think we don't necessarily need to discount like those platforms altogether. I think they've still got a lot of potential. And obviously they have, like even outside of that, they are still platforms that you can use to grow your coaching business in 2023. There's no doubt about that. But it's just whether or not it's the right place for you to be doing that. So I think those are really interesting ones, but it'll be interesting to see if the trend of those platforms adopting more of a search engine-esque approach to their content will continue or not. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, obviously Instagram and TikTok are still really massive platforms with a massive amount of people using them, and they're still really great ways to grow your health and life coaching business in 2023. And then number 21 is word of mouth. Really simple, but really effective. And a bit like the example I gave earlier on of me telling my builder what it is that I did, and then him telling someone else who could have been a potential person who would use one of my services or buy a course. I think word of mouth is not to be underestimated. When we tell people about what it is that we do, when we share what it is that we do, like even in an online place as well. Obviously this is well suited to the offline world, but online as well, I think that word of mouth is really important. Like my friends will say, oh, do you follow that person on Instagram? She's really great. Do you follow this person? Like word of mouth is really important. And I think the key with word of mouth is to be memorable and to have a clear thing that you stand for. Maybe that's your branding. Maybe that's like the way that you swear like a fucking sailor. Maybe it's the fact that you always wear red lipstick, whatever it might be. Like, having something that's memorable about you, I think that can sometimes really help with word of mouth, because it just creates those little connections in people's brains when they're talking to other people about stuff. But obviously the most important thing with word of mouth is to know clearly and be communicating clearly what it is that you do and how you help people, because that's what people are going to talk about and that's what people are going to share. Did you know this person? Or I'm looking for someone who can help me with this issue. Or actually, well, I follow this person online, perhaps you go and follow her too. So that's the essence of word of mouth. But I think word of mouth is never going to go away. Certainly relevant for 2023. It's never going to go that far. And then number 22 is referrals and affiliates. And actually, quite nicely following on from word of mouth, because kind of referrals and affiliates, it's just like incentivized word of mouth actually. So what we're looking at with referrals is we're looking at, let's say that you might, if you get someone come to you and they're not quite the right fit for your services, you might refer them to another coach, and you might just do that on a totally flexible basis, like non-official basis, or that coach might pay you some money for you to give that referral and vice versa, or they might refer people to you. I think referrals differ from affiliates because affiliates is more automated. So I think referrals is more word of mouth, it's more one-on-one. And again, you can have an incentive in there for people to refer people to you, where you might give them a payment if someone refers a client to you and so on. That can work really well. And it's just incentivizing the word of mouth basically. And then with affiliates, it's taken it a step further, and it's using usually some kind of tracking software so that when people share a particular link with their audience, that they again will get some money back if someone buys off the back of that. So great ways again to get in front of new people. It's really incentivizing people to share your stuff further, because they know that they're going to get the benefit and they're going to get a reward for that if they do. So it's really incentivizing that. So affiliates and referrals, absolutely great stuff to look into for 2023 if you want to grow your health and life coaching business. And then finally, direct video connection stuff. So I did an episode of the show. I'm going to link to that, one of the sides. I'm going to link to that somewhere. I'll link to that in the description as well. And this one's really about, it's not about how we use video socially, but it's how we use video on a more intimate basis. Now, we all know video and audio are, like, in terms of creating connection with people, are much better than just writing to someone. So the basis of using video to connect with people is basically, all the research has shown that video is better for connection, for creating connection, audio as well. And this tip really is about how can you use video and audio in more intimate spaces than just social media. So again, that video that I'm going to link to, that I did, that episode of the show that I'll link to, which was all around how to use video, will give you a lot of tips in that. But it's things like, when someone joins your list, can you do them a little video and just say, hi, welcome to my list, I'm so glad that you're here. That instantly creates a deeper connection with that person. And yes, if you've got hundreds of people joining your list every day, that's not going to be possible. However, if you're a newer coach and you've got maybe 1 or 2 people joining a week, sending them a little video, no picture or anything, but just to connect with them, or a little audio message or something, is a really great way to build that connection and to help them get to know you. So I'm a big fan of like video being used in that way. And like I say, the growth there is really through the deepening connection with people through using that medium. Now that brings us to an end. There we have 23 ways to grow your health or life coaching business in 2023. I'm going to run through them again so that you've got the reminder. We have, and I am looking down at my phone, we've got blogging, podcasting, YouTube channel, Pinterest, webinars, sponsorships, bundles, summits, micro audio summits, challenges, networking events, workshops, paid live trainings, Voxer-based coaching, flyers and leaflets, paid ads, guest posting, Facebook group, TikTok, Instagram, word of mouth, referrals or affiliates, and direct video connection. Obviously, I could have added plenty more of that. To be fair, I did have to wrap my brains to get the 23 good ones. But you know, there's all sorts of different platforms. I could have listed individual platforms out. You know the gist. But there's 23 different things that you can do to grow your coaching business in 2023. And before I go, just a quick couple of announcements. So first of all, If all of this sounds great, if you want access to me on basically a continuous basis to help you grow your health and life coaching business, to help you get more clients, to help you figure out all this market and stuff, I realise I've just thrown a lot of stuff at you there, but to actually help you make sense of that and to make it work for you and your business, then please do check out my 6-month group coaching program, Wholehearted Business. The price is going to be increasing on January the 15th. So if you're interested, do take a look. Again, the links will be where the links usually are. Do take a look and see what that program is all about. If you're a coach who has a website, who has been trying to get clients but is struggling to figure out the wheels of the market and system that they need to create, then that is absolutely the program for you. If you get in touch with me before January the 15th, you'll lock in the lower price. You'll also get a free 90-minute one-to-one, and you'll also get free access to my potentially new membership, which brings me on to my second announcement. So as I kind of hinted at in my last episode of the show where I gave my 2022 review, I talked a bit about a new thing that I'd had the idea for, and it was very much like a baby of an idea that's developed a little bit further, and it's now the Content Marketing for Coaches Club. So this is basically a membership where I support you with creating content for your business that is not on social media. So really this membership is focusing on podcasting, blogging, YouTube and Pinterest. And the reason why I chose a membership after being someone who swore off memberships for quite a long time is that the nature of this kind of work, it is a long game. And I think having a membership that is fairly low cost, where you can be in that membership over a long amount of time and have support and have that ongoing like awareness of what's going on, strategies that you can use and things like that, I think that's what's going to be really effective. That is potentially going to open. There's a wait list. So really the wait list is about me making sure that there's enough of you guys who want to make it work. I'm being really honest. It might not go ahead. I need to see how many people join the wait list. So if a good number of people join the wait list, if there's enough interest there, then I will run with it. But I have, from my experience in running memberships in the past, that is a big thing. I know that I need enough people in there to make it financially viable, but also just to make it work. So if that sounds like something that you would love to be in, again, the cost, I think it's going to be £37 a month, $47, but there's going to be a new offer for getting in there at the start. That's going to be £17 a month or $21, and that's like lifetime. So that's all you pay a month if you stay in, and that will be available. So if that sounds good, please do check out the link that will be below in the description box. Please do come along and add your name to the waitlist if it sounds like it's for you. Just really helpful for me to know if there's much interest there or not. And those are my 2 announcements. But I really hope that you found that helpful, that it's been useful thinking about all these different things that you can do in 2023. I think, yes, things have been a bit doomy gloomy, haven't they, coming out of 2022, but honestly I think we get to decide what we make of 2023. Like, stuff's going to happen out there. When me and my husband have talked about this, we've talked about it, it's almost like the backdrop is the stuff that's happening out there, but actually we can remember that there's so much that we can control in our own lives and in our own spaces, and 2023 is going to be what we make it, and it can be a fantastic year for you and your business. And I really hope that this has given you some ideas to get started with. And as always, I'd love to know what you think of this. Please pop me a DM on Instagram. I'm at wholeheartedlylaura, or pop me an email. I'm laura@wholeheartedlylaura.com. Let me know if you've enjoyed this episode. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye.